All right, guys, welcome back to another Touchline video. Today we're going to be reacting to our Premier League predictions. So we've done our Premier League predictions early on in the season. So I think it was last year in August. So yeah, the Premier League has been officially done. And what a way to, end the Premier League season with reacting to our Premier League predictions. So first of all, we're going to react to our ladder predictions. So we predicted, it's very hard to predict each ladder position, but again, you try your luck, see how many you get. And then also after that, we'll quickly go through our season predictions, Golden Boot, Playmaker, and also with Google's predictions as well. So we'll kickstart relegation. So I'll go from 20th to 18. In relegation was Sheffield last, Burnley, and Luton Town. So let's head over to our...
With my one, I went Luton last. I went Sheffield in 19th, and 18th I went Nottingham Forest. And I'm pretty sure you went similar.
Yeah, so I went Luton 20th, Sheffield 19, and 18 Nottingham.
Yeah.
So look, not in the right position, but we did predict Sheffield and Luton to get the drop, in which they did. For me, Luton... I put them 20th. They came 18th. Sheffield United 19th.
So we got 2 out of 3 in the relegation.
2 out of 3
teams in the relegation.
You know what? And I'll take that. And relegation now, again, back-to-back in the Premier League where 3 of the newly promoted teams have gone back down. So again, it's sometimes you like to see these teams stay up, but again, that's not how it works sometimes.
Just make sure you keep talking.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, sometimes it doesn't work like that. But, yeah, relegation, we got 2 out of 3, which is pretty respectable, I say.
And Sheffield had conceded the most goals in Premier League history.
How many?
I think it was 101 goals or something like that. But, yeah, Sheffield wasn't a good season for them. That's the reason why we put them that low with Luton Town. I'm surprised Luton, they did play... good sort of footy. They showed spirit, especially at home. Just towards the end of the season, they lacked a bit of just attacking play because I think that's what they were lacking. And defensively, they were just making too many mistakes. So Luton, Sheffield, and Nottingham Forest just edged and they passed it and didn't get relegation.
Yeah, so we'll move on to the next one. So now we're going to go 17th to 13th. The real ladder shows that Nottingham was 17th, Brentford 16, Everton 15, Wolves 14, and Fulham 13th. Now let's head over to my predicted 17th to 13. Everton 17th. I got them in that bracket category. Wolves, I got 16, which I got completely wrong. Bournemouth 15, 14 West Ham, and Burnley 13. I went Burnley to be, quite a strong team, but again, they're the team that we missed out and they got relegated.
For me, I put 17th Bournemouth, which was a complete shock. The season they had was unbelievable. Nearly got European football, but yeah, it was a great season for them, especially with Solanke, with their new coach, the attacking style they've been playing this year, which was quite impressive. I put Palace 16th. Again, a team that was sort of during the majority of the season in the relegation fight. That was 16th, 15th. But towards the end of the season, they've really clicked. They've really showed what they are made of. And if next year they can start the season strong, which they lacked this year, I think they can be really contenders for maybe at least top 10 next year. And that's probably the goal for them. I got 15th, Everton, which was the first point for the prediction, which I'm quite happy. And considering that, they lost 10 points. So if it wasn't for that 10 points, they would have been in the top 10, Everton.
Yeah.
So, West Ham 14th wasn't the best season for them. Same like what I was saying about Bournemouth, about Palace, sorry. They started the season strong, but they ended it terribly. So West Ham need to fix that, especially with a new coach coming in next year. And in 13th, I went Wolves. Again, pretty inconsistent season
West Ham
as well.
did come in the top 10.
But if you look at it overall, I don't think West Ham top 10 is a good achievement. But do you think West Ham will be happy the way things ended?
Not the way things ended, but
been the best season for me.
Yeah, look, fair enough. But I think, where West Ham were a few years ago, last year they won the Conference League. And again, top 10 finish for teams like that is a very...
Quarterfinals, Europa League.
So
it's good.
Finishes for like that is, what these clubs, would expect from the team.
But the way they've ended the season... Bro, they're conceding too many goals.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I'm saying overall the position where they finished was pretty solid. Now we'll go to 12 and 8th. So the original ladder shows Bournemouth were 12th, Brighton 11, in which we did predict that Brighton would fall off because of the European competition that we're in. Crystal Palace 10th, West Ham 9, and then Manchester United in 8th place, which is the lowest they have finished in the Premier League season. Now we'll go head on to my predicted 12 to 8th. I went Palace 12, Fulham 11th, Brighton 9, and I went Spurs 8. So look, Fulham came 13th. I got them 11th. Brighton came 11th. I put them 9th. So I've gotten positions, very close, but I didn't get them on spot.
Even I put Fulham in 12th, 11th Burnley. We got Brentford in 10th, 9th Aston Villa and Spurs 8th. I'm happy with Fulham. They finished quite where I put them, especially you look at the previous years, they're always finishing just below the 10th or inside the 10. But yeah, it's been a pretty decent season for Fulham. Burnley, I was expecting them to be a much better team, especially coming from the EFL Championship. What company has implemented within the squad, they play a good attacking branding style of football, which we didn't see in the Premier League because, of course, it's a much different competition. We got Brentford in 10th. They had a pretty poor season. Aston Villa 9th. They got Champions League this year, which, for me, the reason why I put Villa this slow is just when you get a new manager, especially when they got Unai Emery, you're going to have that season where it's a honeymoon period. And I just thought Aston Villa were just lacking in defence. And credit to Unai Emery, I think that the defence in some way has improved. I still think they got a long way to go, and I feel they need a few decent players in defence. If they can improve that, they can surely get top 4 next year. And yeah, Spurs 8th, started the season strong, ended it just really bad. And Spurs, 8th, it's an improvement. They got Europa League. I'm pretty sure last year they didn't get... They were in the Conference League last year, so it's an improvement in a way, but they've got a long way to go, Tottenham.
As it stands right now, you're the only one with a correct standing.
That's right.
Let's move on to 7th and 5th now. So the real ladder shows that Newcastle was 7th, Chelsea 6th, Tottenham 5th, and we put Tottenham 8th. So Tottenham did exceed our expectations this season. I'll quickly go to my predictions. I went Aston Villa 7th, which is pretty high to where Aston Villa do finish usually. And again, I don't think they've exceeded my expectation because I did predict that they would have a good season.
Which we'll get onto
later. So they did qualify for the Champions League. Newcastle 6. Since I put them, in which they came 7th. So I was one off there. So I'm happy with that as well.
No, wait, you put them 7th, I put Chelsea.
Sorry, my bad. It's just hard when you look at it. So I put Newcastle in 6th position and they came 7th.
That's right.
And then Chelsea, I put them 5th. They came 6th. So I was one off with all of these. So I'm pretty happy with that. Because again, it's going to be very hard to predict, exactly where they're going to finish.
For me, I put similar with you. I put Brighton in 7th. You look at it, of course, when you're in the Europa League, it's going to be hard with the squad Brighton have. It's not the strongest. They don't have the depth to compete in competitions like that. But they've come a long way, especially the coach leaving, and they're potentially set to sign a new coach, which is unknown yet. I got Chelsea, which is another point.
Yep, 6.
Look, towards the end of the season, they did end it strongly. Finishing 6th isn't still the best of season when you look at the bigger picture. They have been very, very bad. And just towards the end, maybe because the pressure wasn't on them anymore, the season was done. They just played with freedom. You don't know what Poch probably said to them. And they ended the season quite well, which is credit to them. They got Europa League. And a couple of weeks ago, they would have probably thought they would have not got European football. So, once again, credit to them. And Newcastle are top 5. Surprised they didn't get Champions League again this year. Of course, like in the prediction video, you said that they might fall off because of the Champions League football and they're not used to it. And in a way, it did affect them in some sort of way.
Injuries.
Of course, but again, they got Europa League for now because if United win the FA Cup, they're going to be, I'm pretty sure, out of the European picture. So if Man
United win the FA Cup, they'll go down to Conference League, and Newcastle United will not have European football. That's what I was watching Mark Goldbridge. That's what he was saying. So
I'm happy. I've got 2 points on the board, and my table ladder predictions looking good.
Well, this is where I'm gonna eventually get points here. The top 4: Aston Villa came 4th, Liverpool 3rd, Arsenal falling short. Today, they won their game, but City also had won their game. I put Arsenal 2nd, Man City 1st was the original ladder. Now to my predictions, I had put Liverpool 4th. So again, I was one off. Man United 3rd. That was a complete disaster right there. But again, I got my 2 points from Arsenal and Man City. So I think that was the most easiest points anyone would have gotten, because I think everyone was putting Arsenal, Man City up there in the top 2. So again, 2 out of 20, like it's pretty bad. But again, you got to understand.
Prediction is hard.
It's very hard. But if you look at yours,
so yeah,
when you
in
say
total, in fourth I put United. Surprising, look, especially the way they ended it last year. They made it to an FA Cup final, won a Carabao Cup, which again, I've said it multiple times. I still think it was an overrated season, but me putting them fourth, I still believe they had a much better squad than what, say, Spurs do, Chelsea do, Newcastle, because especially Ten Hag, you could see what he was doing last year, and things didn't just work out this year. And my top 3 were Liverpool, Arsenal, and City in the right, correct order, which I'm quite happy with. And as you can see on my ladder, which you can't see, but the points is like a title race, and that's what I predicted. So, yeah, Liverpool, they got a new era next year. I think they're on a rebuild. I still think they'll get Champions League. I still think they got good enough quality players that can help them get into, remain in the Champions League, especially without Klopp. Arsenal, I think, will be in the title race once again next year. With Man City, I think, like I was saying before, Arsenal and City will be in again next year. I think Liverpool's on a rebuild. United's on a massive rebuild again. Chelsea, Newcastle, lots of teams are rebuilding this year. And I think Arsenal and City are just miles off.
I think,
so, again, congrats to Man City on the title.
Liverpool, they did do good this season. You know, with what happened last season, they really fell off. But again, they picked up, they regrouped. And yes, they went at their best. But again, finishing third, you know, to where they were. They won the Carabao Cup, which is, you know, something that can build on. You know, Klopp has left a wonderful legacy at Liverpool. And again, their new coach coming in from Feyenoord. Again, there's some positive. There's some light at the end of the tunnel for Liverpool. So
they
again,
won the Carabao Cup.
As I said, they won the Carabao Cup. So yeah, and again with Arsenal, Man City always looked like they were going to win it. You know, Arsenal fans always going to have that hope. You know, they could drop points here, but let's be honest, they will never drop in points, because Man City, man, they know how the pressure works. That's 6 in their last 7.
Yeah, 6
so
in their last 7.
If it wasn't for Liverpool winning that league in 2019 or something, it could have been 7 in a row, which would have been
so technically, in a way, it's a Farmers League right now.
Right now it is, because you look at, you know, it's Farmers League, you got to look at it. Yes, Man City are winning, but PSG are winning it clear.
Yeah, in a way. But there's no title race.
Bayern were winning it always, you know, confidently. But there's always a title race in this. And again, you can look about the relegation, how the 3 new teams always go out. So it's starting to shape like that, but there's always a challenger. So again, Man City they're too dominant. So yeah, you ended up with 5 points in the ladder prediction. I ended up with 2 points. Google, I'm not going to go through their ladder position. If you want to check that out, check it in our predictions video, or I'll put it up on the screen. But the positions they did get right. They put Spurs in 5th place, which is, you know, a pretty solid prediction. They put them in 5th place, and then they went. There's one more. It's somewhere there. I'll make sure to put in the video so you guys can see. Top 2, they put Arsenal and Manchester City, but just they putting Arsenal first to win the league, which they got it wrong.
Happened, man.
Man City coming 2nd. And their top 4 was Man United and Newcastle with that, so that went completely wrong. But yeah, that's the Google's ladder predictions. Now let's move on to some, you know, normal season predictions, starting off with the Golden Boot. I went with Erling Haaland. As well as Erling Haaland, in which he did, you know, he was the Golden Boot, 27 goals, fantastic player. Yes, he wasn't at his best this year, but still 27 goals, Golden Boot. Like, just imagine next year if he's really on form and he's not having any injuries.
Not sure what the record is for consecutive Golden Boot winners, but I'm pretty sure he'll break it very soon.
Yeah, he will, because this guy is like unbelievable.
Yeah,
he's smashing records left, right, and center. So Erling Haaland, I think next year we'll see even a stronger and better Erling Haaland, because again, injuries costed him, and it just wasn't his best season.
Yeah,
but still, he got the Golden Boot.
And missed a lot of chances this year.
Missed a lot of chances
compared to last year.
30 goals plus this year again. So we move on to Playmaker of the Year. I went Bruno Fernandes. You went Mohamed Salah.
Salah, yeah.
We both got that wrong.
Yeah, I just thought, because in previous years, Salah always seems to have double digits in both assists and goals, but this year wasn't a good season for Salah at all. Just started the season well, but had issues with Klopp. Then he went to the AFCON. He got injured. It was a very complicated season for Salah.
I think he's heading off
I think,
surely is his last
probably
season. It's the
finished.
best time to leave. Klopp's leaving, and I wouldn't be surprised if a few other Liverpool players leave. But the playmaker of the year was Ollie Watkins. So congratulations to Ollie Watkins. Very good player, showing his potential. Maybe could secure a big move to a big club, Arsenal maybe. Some team's going to pick him up.
I'd love to have him.
Manager of the year. Now, we both went Mikel Arteta. That's still up in the air that he could easily get it. It's still not announced, but
If you look at
I'd
it,
still say I'd give it correct, because again, to what he's done with Arsenal, challenging City all the way to the end at first place for majority of that season again. Best defense, 18 clean sheets. So even if he didn't get it, which we'll have to wait and see, but still, I think Arteta does deserve manager of the year.
look,
Because City are winning every time.
Guardiola, of course, the greatest manager ever in the Premier League. And if he was to get it, it's probably fair because he's won another Premier League trophy. But if you want to change it up, which truly Arteta does deserve it, but again, Unai Emery, what he's done to Aston Villa, getting him into Champions League for the first time in like 51 years, something around that, is just an incredible thing to do, especially when Aston Villa first got promoted. And during that lockdown period, if it wasn't for that goal line technology era, that would have been relegated and they would have not been in this situation.
Yeah.
So credit to Unai Emery and what he's done. Aston Villa do have a bright future.
So yeah, we have to wait on that to see if we will get points for that. Next one now, underdogs. You went Burnley.
Yeah, which completely was wrong.
Yeah, they were relegated. I went Aston Villa, and I've got that point correct because, again, Champions League qualification. I just had a feeling Unai Emery's going to come in and, make a great team, build a structure, foundation, and that's what they did. And Champions League says it all. So I've got a point for that. Now, signing of the year, we both went. I went Declan Rice, and you went Dominic Szoboszlai. I think that's how you say it. Again, I've got my one right again.
Yeah.
Declan Rice is 100% the signing of the year.
Look, there's other players that did perform this year, but I think the standout has to be Declan Rice.
Yeah, it has to be. He's been phenomenal.
Coming from West Ham, and this year he's doubled his goals and assists when he was at West Ham last year. Just incredible.
Even Cole Palmer's up there.
Cole Palmer is up there. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
I think with signing of the year, it's signings of the year because it's very hard to say who was the best. Like if you put Declan Rice,
everyone will have their own
Palmer,
opinion.
It's you can't be wrong. You know what I mean?
And you look at it, we paid Declan Rice like 105 million, something around that.
And he lived up to
that.
And
David Moyes always said, and people laughed at him, that he's worth more than he's worth 200 million. And we could say we got him on a bargain. This is so cheap. What he produced this year was incredible, and I didn't expect for him to be this good. It's just outstanding what he's done for us this year, and I'm just so glad he's chosen Arsenal over City.
So that's another point for me. Flop of the year. Now, we both went with players that had an up and down season in regards to injuries. You put Nkunku and I put Mason Mount. Now, some may say they were flops, but again, we're not going to give ourselves points to that because, again, when you're injured, it's very harsh to critique a player and not giving him credit because, again, they can't do anything.
Like you look at Caicedo, he's played more than 35 games. You'll consider him a flop, especially with the price tag they signed him. There's a few other players, but yeah, Mason Mount and Nkunku, I wouldn't say they're flops for now.
I think if they did play longer, I think that'd still be a chance for being a flop because,
to be honest, Nkunku's when he's been on, he's been performing, he's been scoring goals. So as a striker, that's all you can do at this point. And we'll just see next year how they go.
Yeah. And finally, flop team of the year. We both went Spurs, and we're going to give it to Man United.
Yeah,
I think with the expectations I had heading into this season, with how good they were last season defensively, won a Carabao Cup, FA Cup final, you thought they'd push on to that, but they didn't. And they came 8th, their lowest position in Premier League history.
I'm a massive hater for United, but if there's one thing about United this year, you have to say injuries have really affected them this year. Look, Lisandro Martinez, Varane, many of your big defenders were out towards the end of the season, and you had no chance to put Johnny Evans and Maguire in the back. It's just been injuries have costed you this year. So United just had to focus, maybe win the FA Cup, focus on next season, and hopefully luck can go your way, and hopefully injuries don't affect you guys.
It's been an up and down season for United, but again, we got the FA Cup final this week. Hopefully, just bring some light into the club, positivity. And it'll be good to beat Man City because right now they're just dominating everything.
Man.
So, you want to get one over them. You want to, stop them from winning another trophy. So, we'll look at quickly Google's one. Golden Boot, that went Jesus. Wrong. Playmaker of the year, Saka. Saka was up there.
He got 9 assists.
Well,
I
yeah,
think,
he
this
was
year.
up there in the what's called the list, but
Highest
again,
was 13. I'm
yeah,
pretty
Ollie
sure.
Watkins. But again, he fell short.
Yeah.
Manager of the year, Ten Hag.
No.
That went wrong. Underdogs, West Ham. No, West Ham came ninth. I think
underdogs.
to be underdogs, I think if they pushed into Champions League,
Underdogs is a team that overachieved.
achieves, yeah.
And
But again,
that's-
if West Ham had got into the Champions League, that would have been a very good
100%.
good season for them. Signing of the year, they went Havertz. Havertz has been exceptional for Arsenal, but I just don't think he's the
He's
signing
not the signing of the year, but
Not-
he's been a great addition to
he's
the
not
team.
like the Cole Palmer and
Nah.
the Declan Rices, but again, he's been a very good.
If you look at Havertz's performance in 2024, like if you just based on that, you would say signing of the
Yeah.
season because he was phenomenal. But the bigger picture,
started
the
the year
whole
slow.
year, it wasn't good for him.
yeah, but again, not a bad prediction there. We'll go flop player of the year. They went Rasmus Højlund. Now this one I don't agree with. I think you got to be
No,
That's
I
wrong
don't think it's a
because
flop.
Rasmus Højlund, 15 goals or 16 goals in all competitions, 10 goals in the Premier League with no service at a lot of times. Sometimes he's playing a graveyard shift, nothing's happening for him. And again, he goes through a period where he's not scoring, but when he's scoring, he continues to score. And when he was on that run scoring, he got injured and that affected him. But again, he scored last week and this week again. So he's a confident player. If you give him space, he'll take on plays and
Yeah,
score.
fair
So
enough.
yeah, again, I wouldn't consider that a flop. And they went flop team of the year, Man City, which is
Yeah,
that won the champion, the Premier League. So to wrap up this video, the total points are I end up getting 6 points. You 7 points. And Google got a total of 2 points. So yeah, that's a wrap up to our Premier League prediction recap. Premier League will be back in 2 more months.
2 more months. We've
So
got the
again,
Euros in a
Euros
month.
in a month too, so that should be good. Maybe give
Yeah.
our predictions there. But yeah, the Premier League prediction again will happen in 2 months and we'll restart from there. So yeah, we'll see you guys soon.